Hi, and welcome to another episode of Ask Alan Anything, where you can ask any question about publishing, marketing of your books, about being an author, all that fun stuff. Our intent is to help you grow stronger financially, so we don't always necessarily follow the traditional rules that are established by some people that say you can make millions of dollars by doing what we tell you. Sorry, that's bullshit. Very few people do that, and people try to copy that to sell it to other people. So don't bother wasting your time and money on it. Each person is an individual. Each person will have their own success in different degrees. So don't try to compare yourself to a lot of other people. But at the same time, you need to understand the basics of marketing, and that's what this show does. So I hope you check out not only this show, but all the other shows we've been doing and the future shows we have as well. And don't hesitate to be a patron member. We can always use the support, as this is not a free program. It does cost us money to produce, so we would love the support. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about bookstores, but before I go any further, I forgot to mention you can always send in your questions ahead of time to bourgeoismedia@outlook.com. We do check them out. We do sometimes gather some of them up together in one group to answer them. Sometimes we answer them individually. It all depends on what the subject matter is and how relevant it is to what's going on and stuff. Every question has its value, and sometimes we do refer people to a previous episode for the answer. But sometimes we also re-answer the question again because we know new people are watching and we want to make sure everybody gets their information. So feel free to email those questions to bourgeoismedia@outlook.com, and you'll see it pop up on the screen every so often, so you can jot it down and use it. As I mentioned, we are talking about bookstores. So normally, bookstores don't share their information with an author, okay? And that's practical, that's understandable. They are considered as their private information. These are their clients, these are their people that they want to build a tradition with. Basically, they need those people to stay in business. So they really don't want to share it with authors or other people and stuff like that. That's totally fine and understandable. We get that, and we do not want to change that in any way. However, bookstores need to think outside the box these days to be relevant, to stay valuable to the world or the community or whatever, and on many levels, okay? One of them is working closely with indie authors who continue to grow not only in the marketplace, but also the quality of their works and stuff. Traditional published books are becoming passé, becoming boring, becoming the same old material being pushed out. In other words, if you're famous, you get a book deal because you can sell books because you're famous. Otherwise, usually what they have to tell you is not all that exciting, not all that valuable, and usually not worthy of your time and money to buy. So in that respect, yes, they may sell a lot of books because they're famous, but otherwise they have no value to the world or to the creative instincts of what's going on. And that's why more and more indie authors are doing that themselves, becoming their own publisher and producing and sending out their own materials because they want to have better quality control, better understanding, better marketplace, and bottom line, they want to make more money. Because with traditional publishing contracts, you don't make as much as you think unless you really do meet their guidelines and their levels of sales. And there are a lot of authors that have had advances taken back because they haven't met those goals and stuff. So keep that in mind as you progress forward. But as I said, we are talking about bookstores and that they need to think outside the box, okay? So not sharing their information, their client-based information, we understand that, we get that. The same applies to Amazon. They will not share their information with authors for that same reason. These are their clients, excuse me, and they don't want to give that information out to where an author can take that client away from them. So authors need to understand that it's not about taking the client information away from them, but working with them to build a successful platform for that bookstore, more so the indie bookstore, and then also for the author as well, so that they can join together and both become more successful, okay? Again, Amazon, you get reviews, and you might be able to find out who sent the review, but that chance of finding that person out or that information out is extremely low. You may get some information through Goodreads, but again, that's very low. Those are good programs to have, but again, that's built on Amazon wanting to control the marketplace and not to share it, okay? Again, as I mentioned, why is that the reality, and why should it not change? I think it should, and we've gone through our company's ways to help change that, okay? When a bookstore shares the information with the author, providing, of course, the customer wants that information to be shared, this will help both the author and the business grow, and here's why. An author wants to know they are building a readership. They want to know people are buying their books, okay? They also want to earn their fair share of income from their works. That's what it's all about, being an indie author and stuff. An author is also more than willing to allow bookstores and others to earn their fair share of income from the sale of their books, which is true. Everybody should have the ability to earn a fair share. What fair is something that Authors Revolution is all about, making sure it's fair to everybody, not just the corporations, the bookstores, the publishers, but to the authors as well. And that's something that we're seeing less and less of, and that's why the Authors Revolution is occurring. Okay? But what if the author had a chance to sell the book at a bookstore, knowing they can learn who is buying the book so they can share the information with them in the future new releases, okay? Would that author not be more willing to go to the bookstore as a show of support and offer to do a pre-order of a new book coming out or a book signing? I say yes, okay? If there is a working relationship between the bookstore and the author, and the information is being shared in such a way that it's fair, and it protects the consumer, okay? Then I think the two of them would build a great relationship, okay? If the author knows that they can do a book signing at that bookstore and not only earn a fair share of the income, but also learn who's buying their books so that they can communicate more with them. Thus, when a new book is coming out, they can promote the bookstore and say, hey, it's going to be available exclusively at this store, or we have a pre-sale book signing coming up at this bookstore, and we'd like for you to come by. And that customer is a member, is a patron of that bookstore, then they're more likely to show up more so than at a other location, okay? For the bookstore to survive, they need customers. And we've talked about that, okay? Amazon is the major bookseller in the marketplace on many, many levels, but indie bookstores are out there promoting the community, promoting certain genres and things like that. They're finding their niche market, but they still need the customers in order to survive, okay? While the author can and should continue to build the private client list, and others have their email list from book festivals, book signings that they do elsewhere, and all that other stuff on their website, they should also understand that in the mass market of 1 million new books per year, the author needs every opportunity to have their book stand out in some way so readers can find it, okay? So if you're on Amazon and you buy their Amazon ads, you're feeding the animal and they're becoming more profitable, but you're not getting you're not getting more success from doing that, okay? You might get a temporary bump, but because you're not learning who the buyers are, you're not able to follow up with them, you're not able to engage with them, you're not able to continue to build a relationship with them. That's what attractive marketing is all about. And we've talked about that in previous shows, so definitely check that out. I also teach it if anybody wants me to come in and teach a group, and stuff. Anyways, what a better way to help stand out in a book, but having a book displayed in a bookstore, okay? Whether it's a side spine or the front view of the cover, that is great publicity for an author to have that happening in a bookstore, okay? To be featured on Amazon, one must spend the money on advertisement that usually only sells the 99-cent special. And we talked about that in the last episode. An author spends money to break even at best, And that's not a good business plan, okay? Which is true. You don't want to break even. You want to make a profit. You want to build the readership. You want to build your sales. You want to be able to have more money available to you to better market and put the word out there of who you are so you get more sales. It's all about the numbers. We've talked about this many times. If you don't have the number in sales, you don't make a profit. If you're not making the profit, you're not able to remarket and promote yourself. Okay, and being on Amazon, that's not a good business plan. It's great temporary. Okay, it gives you that little bump, but again, you're not finding out really who's buying the books, and that's what's so critical here. But it doesn't help the author in the long term of earning money for future marketing programs. This increasing the book sales to the degree that allows an author to live comfortably. And I've said that time and time again. The author's revolution is about you living comfortably, earning a fair share from the books you sell. That's what we are about, and that's what I keep pushing. So you've got to think wisely about how you do things, and just having your book on Amazon is not a marketing plan. It's just insane, okay? Bookstores need to change up their strategies on how they work with indie authors and become more user-friendly. We've talked about that as well. The author and the bookstore need to find a formula that works for both parties and helps both of them grow stronger and more vital in the reading community, whether it's a local community or a national or an international community. This is not Amazon's mindset, nor will it be anytime soon. Okay? There are online bookstores that promote indie authors to some degree. To date, the concept is to charge a monthly fee to help cover their operating costs and to have funds for advertising. There's one company that's out there that charges close to $40 a month, okay, to be listed on their site. Okay, they give very little back for that. Okay, yes, they may advertise through magazines or online postings and stuff of this nature, but unfortunately, that doesn't really work for you because all the money's going back to them. Yes, they give you a better cut, but that monthly charge, if you're spending $480 a year on marketing and for that program, that online store, you need to be earning at least 4 times that amount in sales. Chances are you're not. And on top of that, these stores, specifically the one I'm referring to, also sells traditionally published books in the hopes that it draws people to the website. But if people are buying the traditionally published books, they're not buying your books. They are going to go anyways to Amazon and buy the books where they can get it for free or a low discounted price, usually a better price than the other bookstores, and also the Prime, so they don't have to pay for shipping and things of this nature. So it's not helping you. You're spending money that needs to be spent elsewhere. Better quality graphics for your cover, a good paid editor, good paid proofreader, good paid advertising PR person, or good marketing programs that work better for you. You need to earn your fair share. Oh, I'm saying that a lot in this episode. I'm really being strong on this, okay? As far as I know, there is only one bookstore that really is truly dedicated to indie authors. By that, that means that they only sell indie authors' books, none of the traditionally published books, none of that other crap that goes on. The only requirement to be on that bookstore is that you have to be a member of an organization, that they work closely with, and the dues are $50 a year. So that's a lot better than $480 where you're not getting much, but $50 where you're at least learning how to better market and sell yourself, and you get better discount returns on the sale. For example, this bookstore is named indielector.store. That's their website, indielector.store. They pay up to 80% of the sale, and they share the information of who's buying the books with you, because at that point level, you're sending the books out directly to the customer. So you're getting that information, you're setting up a thank you card, or you're autographing that book, and the bookstore is also paying for the shipping fee. So you're making 80% off your sale, which is good money, and you're learning all that other stuff. Plus, you're learning from that organization on how to better market and sell yourself, and you're having access to a lot of other programs. That sounds like a win-win to me. So I would check that out. totally indie author and designed for the people who want to succeed. So again, that website is indielector.store. As I mentioned, bookstores have to be, again, rethinking how they do business and stay competitive and relevant, okay? Until then, authors must find new avenues and think outside the box to sell their books. Indie authors have the control to change the publishing world. They do not have to be a slave to it. And this is so true. This is what the author's revolution is all about, okay? You need to have better control over what's going on. You're not having to reinvent the wheel, but you're having better control to say, you know what, as a group of indie authors, we deserve better pricing on advertising in a magazine, or better pricing working with a media outlet, or better pricing in working with a audio studio, so that we can get our fair share and not have to pay outrageous fees because we're indie authors, okay? You should deserve better on the printing costs. You should deserve better on the retail sales, your royalty fees, all of that in order for you to survive, okay? When this is being recorded, we're heading into a recession. And through that recession, if you don't have the money to promote yourself and to fight for getting those book sales, you're not going to do very well. You're going to get frustrated and you're going to give up. Most authors that really, truly want to continue to write have to figure out a way to earn that fair share so that they can continue to do that. Even if during the recession they have to work those second jobs, to stay alive and to keep that money flowing in to pay the day-to-day bills. I get that and I understand that. So if you're not participating on your value, your self-worth, which we've mentioned before, then you're giving it up. And you're allowing everybody else to make the money off of your back, off of your creations. And that doesn't work for me. If it works for you, fine. Let other people make more money than you. But I don't think it does for most authors. If you really want to earn your fair share, really want to have better control over what's going on, then you need to get your shit together and start marketing and promoting yourself in the proper way. I hate to sound rude, I hate to sound mean, I hate to sound negative, but someone's got to slap you in the face and wake you up, okay? You need to have more money to better market and sell yourself, to make the sales that you need to be able to live a comfortable life. If to you earning $50,000 a year is a comfortable, satisfactory income level, then you've got to sell 500,000 books at the current rate things are. If you're selling through Amazon or through a traditional publisher or any of those type of things, 500,000 books is a lot of books, okay? Yeah, I'll put you up on the top 10 list of a lot of programs, but you're not going to stay there on an annual basis to achieve that. So in order to be able to do better, you have to have a higher rate of income, which means $2 to $3 per book, which brings you down to about 100,000, roughly 100,000 books per year to sell, which is more doable than 500,000. So think of how you are set up. How are you selling your books? How much money are you earning? Okay. Yes, I'm going to do a shameful plug here, but my Author's Revolution workbook has a workout sheet in there showing the expenditures, showing what you should be paying on averages from low to highs, but allows you to calculate it and allows you to see how many books you have to sell, not only to pay for getting the books published and done and marketed, but also for you to be able to live and have a nice income. Okay, so definitely get the book; it's well worth it. Check out indielector.store. It's well worth it for indie authors. They're growing. They're competing against Amazon on a different level, and they're also competing against a lot of bookstores on many different levels to help you make more money, to earn your fair share. That's what the goal is, that's what their objective is, and that's what it's all about. So with that, I thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, as I've said before, please feel free to email them to us at bourgeoismedia@outlook.com. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching or listening to this show. Indie Lecture is proud to sponsor this programming. As a thank you for listening or watching, we would like to give you a 10% coupon code that you can use on our bookstore at indielector.store. Use coupon code video19. Again, that's indielector.store, coupon code video19 for a 10% discount on any purchase. Thank you. Authors, do you know the true cost of being published? In the Author's Revolution workbook, B.L. Bourgeois gives you hands-on tools to use and to understand the true cost of being published. He will also give you information about low-cost or free programs that are designed to help you market your book. B.L. Bourgeois has been helping hundreds of authors since 2011, educating them on how to better market and sell their books. Buy the Author's Revolution workbook exclusively at indielector.store.
Hi, this is your host, B. Alan Bourgeois. Thanks for watching Ask Alan Anything. We do appreciate you tuning in from time to time, and we are asking that if you're interested in the show and what the value it has for authors, that you help support us. We have created a Patreon page. You can go to Patreon, Patreon.com, and go to Bourgeois Media and become a sponsor. We have a lot of different options for you, free books, free credits, free whatever we can find that doesn't cost us too much, that allows us to be able to still raise money for Title I schools, getting the books into their hands, and also keeping the show up and running. So please check us out. That is Patreon, Patreon.com, and then look for Bourgeois Media. And I appreciate your support. Thanks.